Welcome back for another episode of This Week in the Shop. It's mid-August, and this is what we got going on here in the shop this week. John's 68 Camaro just got off the dyno. Like I mentioned in the past, we did a Roadster Shop spec chassis install. We didn't build the engine or tune or do the turbo setup. However, we did change some portions of the fuel system, ran new fuel lines, new brake lines, drive shaft, new rear with that spec chassis. So we like to run them on the dyno to just, before we hit the road, if anything's going to break, we kind of want it to fail here so that we can diagnose it immediately and not on the side of the road. So did great. On high boost, it makes over 800 on E85. We tested it on like E75, and it made just under 800 horsepower. On low boost on 93, it makes 650. So this thing, she scoots along really, really well. We knew it was fast when it came in. It's fast for sure. So we're going to try to get a few hundred miles on it this next few weeks to start test driving and put real world miles on it. John is in Texas. We are in New Jersey. Some people may say we're from Montana. However, we are in fact in New Jersey. So we want to make sure that we can kind of shake it down enough so that when John gets it back, all he's got to do is turn the key and enjoy it. Steve's 87 F-150, 429 swap TKX 5-speed is coming down to the finish line with us. Really cool patina truck. It's hilarious to call an 80s truck a patina truck, but this truck is rock solid. Very, very little rust. Original paint. Just finished the 3-inch exhaust last week. You saw that beginning to go together. Finished it this week. It's got a MagnaFlow X crossover style muffler. And then we changed the tires out from the small kind of Mustang size tires to a tire that's pretty much the size of a first gen Lightning. We wanted to keep it in that kind of family of keeping it look like something it should have. So really cool truck. It's actually going to fire up and go on the dyno next. Possibly next week, depending on the schedule. So we'll see how she does next week. Jeff's 66 C10 LS swap is coming along really, really nicely. We're just finishing up the wiring, getting the gauges back together. We got the Retrofit Innovations electric brake booster in place, so it'll have really, really nice brakes now. Where we painted the upper radiator hose pieces here. They're in the booth. And yeah, hopefully we'll be firing this guy up pretty soon. And Jeff will be back on the road nice and reliably with that LS swap. Justin's 79 F-250 is coming along. The chassis is obviously powder coated. I think you saw it last week. We went ahead and refinished all the axles front and rear. Jack has done really, really well on making new brake lines, getting them fitted, getting everything he can do on the chassis before the body goes down, so that just makes it a lot easier. So he's not working under the cab. So this thing will be really nice when it comes down the line. Back here we have Holly's 85 K10. By the way, this is our third take, okay? So give me a little bit of slack over here. 70s Chevelle doors, I'll explain in a little bit. Brian's going ahead and getting these doors prepped for paint. Like I had mentioned last week, we were getting everything ready for polyester primer. So this week, polyester primer went down on all the parts. So he's going to go one by one, prep out a panel for paint. Really nice, productive work. See, the fenders are new, so much new sheet metal on here, and we kind of took it to the next level. I call aftermarket panels they get you 85% of the way there, and then it takes about 15% of work to kind of make them fit, massage them, body work them. They're never straight, they're never perfect, but they're rust free. So the bed is all new, so this thing will block out really nice. Steve 67 Chevelle. We are getting ready to apply the DEI Attack sprayable sound deadener and heat insulation. This whole car, the backside of all the panels, the Dutchman panel, the quarter panels, the inner and outer, well, the outer wheelhouses, the taillight panel, the roof skin, the inner roof structure, the backside of the inner quarter panels are all covered in the DEI Attack. So this thing going down the road is just going to be solid as a brick. The amount of NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness materials that are in this car is crazy. So Steve's going to have a really, really nice driving 67 Chevelle when he's done. Not to mention it's going to look really, really good as well. Previously, I had mentioned I wanted to get the chassis and the body mounted this week. However, we decided to push it back a little bit. Steve is rebuilding the rear. He wanted to do it himself. So we decided to push things off and kind of keep working on getting the body ready. And then when Steve has the rear ready for us, we'll have the body all cut and buffed and all that. Keep it nice and then bolt them together, and you don't have to worry about wet sanding sludge getting anywhere, and it just keeps the end product a lot cleaner once we're all done. So Ben's 92 GT getting delivered tomorrow. So we're giving it a quick detail. We painted from the doors forward. So we're going to go ahead and just polish out the back half of the car to just kind of bring up the paint a little bit, make it look better, so that Ben has a really nice driver when he's headed home. We got, Bill's 67 Camaro hood from Anvil Auto, carbon fiber. Like I had mentioned, we like to incorporate body color into carbon fiber parts. That way they don't just look stuck on. So we painted the body color, the Magma Red from Ford, a Kia orange, right?
Electric orange, yeah.
Kia electric orange pinstripe, and the carbon fiber just cleared. And then this is unbuffed or polished, so once we cut and buff it, there you won't see the stripe. You'll see the stripe, but you won't see the reflection of the stripe. It'll be a complete sheet of glass. We got we dancing?
No.
We got the cab for Justin's truck all ready. The underside is all undercoated. Like I said, the firewall's painted. So that's ready for when Jack is ready for it. We can plop it right on and be good to go. The second round of poly, just because we couldn't fit everything in the booth, for Holly's 85K10 just got sprayed today. Brand new hood from AMD. It was straight as an arrow. We stripped the E-coat off of it, put a nice coat of epoxy primer on it, and then a little bit of polyester primer, and she'll block out nice. Holly's going to have a super, super nice truck when it's done. Tom 70 Chevelle is, some of you may know of it. We finished it a couple months ago. When I say air quotes finished, we got it show ready. We got it done to the point where it was done, but like, if anybody's in the know, these cars, you'll see a shop finish a car and then it sits for a little while. It's at the shop because the process of building a hot rod doesn't end when the car is finished and all bolted together. You now have to drive it, and things are going to come up, and you have to fix those things. It's just part of the process of building a hot rod. We have hundreds of different products in these cars that all need to mesh together, and unfortunately, some of them are going to fail. But the thing that we weren't happy with this car so far was the old fiberglass doors. This was Tom's dad's drag car. We decided to keep the doors because I thought nostalgically it's kind of cool to have the old drag, lightweight fiberglass doors on it. It had functional windows, functional latches, door panels. It looked stock. However, the fit and finish weren't the greatest. It was hanging out from the quarter panel on the bottom, but it fit good at the top, and we were just out of adjustability. And quite frankly, I think they were just falling apart because they were probably 30 years old. So we decided to pull the trigger on a set of steel doors, which are out being bodyworked right now. So we'll bodywork them. I already gapped them. They're gapped nice. They fit good. I pre-fit the windows, the door latch, the door seals, the door bumpers to make sure that they fit 100%. Now we'll bodywork it and paint them. Luckily, we have paint left over from when we did the exterior paint of the car already. So we'll be able to shoot them, buff them, put them back on the car, and car will just present a lot better. We are planning on bringing this to the Triple Crown in a few weeks, so a couple weeks. So we'll get everything done, get the car cleaned up, and it'll be looking primo for Triple Crown because it is probably the best hot rod show in the country. Rick's 92 OBS Chevy is coming along. Last week you saw us getting these ready to install. Chad has completely welded them in, all in factory locations. They're all plug welded in the factory locations, the same amount of welds. We keep the weld spacing. We try to build these hot rods using OEM methods. You can't go wrong with a spot weld, so plug weld them all back to where they were. So he'll now make a flange for the wheel wells to go in, so he can plug weld the inner wheel wells up into them, make a flange for the bed floor, and then we'll make an outer wheelhouse so that, again, it'll have a factory construction. It's just going to be a lot cleaner. And then once that's completed, we can then make a cap to cover the frame rails for that spec chassis. The wheels did come in from Forge Line. We're going to make a few changes on them. They are gorgeous, but there's a few things that we're going to do. I'm going to widen them. They're a little too shallow for my liking, so we're going to actually add an inch to the front of the wheel. These are the Forge Line NT3Cs. The back wheel, which is out in storage because we didn't want to damage it. 22 by 11s in the back. It'll be a 21 by a 10.5 in the front. Super, super nice wheel. The theme of the truck is an 80s, 90s supercar theme, so I felt that this wheel and the vibe really work well together. So keep an eye on this truck because it's going to be a hell of a truck when it's done. We got Steve's chassis for his 67 Chevelle over here awaiting assembly. We got QA1 coilovers going in it, front and rear. So everything's ready to go. So when Steve gets us that rear, we'll be able to start slamming it together, get everything assembled. CJ's 70 Nova. The inner and outer wheelhouses are pinned into place. But before we welded them in, we went and test fit the quarters, roof skin, trunk drops, just to make sure that those wheelhouses don't need to be tweaked, moved, or anything before we weld them in for good, because going backwards is kind of a hassle. We like to do things once if we can. So, yep, we're moving along. Another really good, productive week in the shop. I'm going to have to do the cliche like and subscribe, spread the news about Blue Sky Performance's videos. If you have any questions about any of the projects in the shop that you want to see, if you have any interest in seeing more of a certain project, we can do features. Let me know what you guys want, and keep watching, and I'll be back next week.